placed in different locations. Anakin quickly got to work as his mother tried to suggest for him, when in reality they were trying to grab a manufactured power gap that just simply didn't exist. It was Jabba's way to make the little guy feel big. They would get fire pistol. He spun it around in his hand before gently handing it over to Skywalker. He knelt down and pointed at the sights and everything else on the pistol. He was that it was his first day's worth of earning. It wasn't really much of any fleek. Lars. He was going to buy Shmi, but Wada, with the assumption that Lars wouldn't pay the price, told him that if he wanted the mother, then he had to buy the son way, hardly finding his way back to the cantina. He stumbled. She realized now what racing meant to him. The whole point of winning wasn't for the money, or the accolades, or anything. It was for their freedom. Shmi told Anakin that was never his burden to bear. It was unfair, sure, but it wasn't his fault. She always wanted to get him out of it, but there was never really any easy way around it. They didn't make money, so she couldn't buy their way out of it. It was just bad luck of the draw. But his birthday came and went, and as a 10-year-old he decided that it was time to take Jalen up on his offer. He went back to the crew house one evening when he got done early, and he was welcomed in with open arms. Jalen was excited to have Skywalker show up on the front step of their little cantina. They called it a crew house because it was their little zone. No other crews were allowed to enter, giving him some sort of that brotherly love he'd been missing. It was a good way to lower his guard and make him feel safe, and trap him with them. It was a nice manipulation tactic, but it worked so well. It was much easier to do with kids and down-on-their-luck individuals on Tatooine. Jalen yelled they can have. Typically, the way to show strength was through elite numbers, updated vehicles, and so on. It was very common for members of the crew to polish their vehicles like they were being stored inside of Coruscant garages. It was just another example of the poor trying to be like the rich. So he thanked Jalen, and then told him he'd be back tomorrow. Anakin did keep coming back. His main goal was to save up money to buy both his mom and his freedom. Shmi was left in the dark of all this for the most part, simply because he knew that she wouldn't approve of him joining a crew, though even Anakin believed that she would have accepted it because of the new energy he had every day. Shmi only wanted Anakin to be happy. He couldn't become a full-time member until he was a free person. The only reason Anakin wasn't free by this point is because Wada refused to accept pay from Anakin. Essentially, once Anakin started making money from the crew, he asked Wada bye to his mom, as he exited the home and slammed into something that jarred him back. He fell backwards and felt his face. Why was it wet? He looked up and saw a body lightly spinning around in circles hanging from the ledge of the door. Anakin looked at the side of the wall and saw the markings of the Twin Sons gang. He got up and quickly pulled his mother down, but she was already dead. Dragon's breath killed a Twin Sons shop owner. Anakin asked them what they did now, and Jalen turned to the crew and told them to prepare for war. The crew quickly got together as messages went out to crew members across the city as they mounted up their weapons, shooting rockets of the sort. A massive tank came down the alleyway, and he and the crew ducked out of the way. Skywalker turned back and saw a rocket lying on the ground. He told the crew to cover him. He lunged backwards, sliding across the sand as his crew members were blasted away by the heavy cannon. He grabbed the rocket and launched it forward. It was a perfect shot, slipping right down the barrel of the cannon and forcing the tank to explode. Inside Jabba's palace,
Nice.